Alright, what's up, guys? Episode 5. We're back
Five?
again.
5.
What?
5. No, I didn't know it was 5.
You didn't?
No?
Why?
I don't know.
You don't pay attention to your own thing?
No. I just thought it was. I thought 4 hadn't gone up yet. I don't know.
4 is the one that went up this last week, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
Lord.
Number 4. Episode 4.
Episode 4 of what?
You didn't know the podcast.
Oh.
Our podcast, this one.
It's only episode 4?
No, this is episode 5.
That's what I'm saying.
He thought it was only episode 4.
It's okay.
Okay.
Spacey podcast, I guess.
This
So,
is going to be titled The Spacey Podcast.
Is that what the episode is?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm
You
trying
have,
to. Do you gotta sign?
Why?
So I can find the fucking gulag.
Why do you want that in the
So
background?
yeah, just so it can be in the background.
Why? Do you want to explain what the fuck you're talking about?
It's just like it's like a Yule log, like in the background, like a log on fire, but it's just somehow Halloween. And my topic of this that I wanted to bring up was mostly like Halloween related, so I thought it was very fitting. That's all I got, man. There's no pumpkins here yet. I ain't got no Halloween cookies. Every single time I go to fucking Walmart or Target, none of those little Pillsbury cookies with like the ghost or the pumpkin or fucking just anything. Like I just sound like I'm just throwing me a bone.
Angry
You know, and
baker
it's
moments.
fucking. Well, I mean, I can make it on my own, but that'd be a hassle if I just wanted to be like, haha, nostalgia. Like, let me just get my little bit of fucking dopamine, or is it would that be kind of would that be serotonin? I don't
Where
know.
are you getting it from?
Well, I just mean like those fucking little cookies are super nostalgic, and for me like super, like indicative of like the spooky season. You know, like just Halloween. Like whenever you see the seasonal like.
The sugar cookies?
Well, yeah. Like well, I just mean like even like there's just like seasonal shit in general, like seasonal cereal or like seasonal cookie like dough, fucking. You know what I mean? The Pillsbury shit.
I want everyone to know you have to hear this clicking because Carter wants his fucking pumpkin.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty solid. You can back up, and then they'd probably be.
It's not. It's because of the bar.
Oh,
Part
well,
of the sensor.
it's okay.
We're just talking seasonal shit.
Yeah. What is your if you had to pick a favorite season, what would it be?
Probably Christmas.
What about Christmas? Do you either remember the most or enjoy the
What
most?
is it that you like the most about it? How
Yeah.
is that?
I've just always considered it to be the best holiday because you can like Halloween, and Halloween is close second, but you don't get presents on Halloween.
Yeah.
So
For me, the payoff is more just like the what do you call it? Like
Or English?
no, the fuck, like the effect of it almost.
The
Like
build-up?
well, no, because I feel like Christmas has a bigger build up. Like I mean nowadays, because I mean like I feel like the only thing to like look forward to for Halloween in terms of nowadays would be like a Halloween party, but
What do you mean nowadays? You can't do that either.
well, I mean, like, it's not like I'm gonna go out looking for candy and knocking out people's doors. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna be doing anything during Halloween, it's gonna be either, like, you know, having a Halloween party or going to a Halloween party or, like, I don't know, a haunted house or some shit. Who knows? I mean, fucking just Halloween shit. But I just mean, like, you know, as something that can involve, like, you know, drinking or other party things. So, I mean...
Halloween drinking game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I don't know. I like Halloween shots. All the Halloween shots are cool. Like I don't know. I just that brain hemorrhage always fucking stuck out to me.
What the fuck is that?
Well, it's like the way you do it. It's like when you pour another shot into it, it gets kind of caught in the density, like because it's different densities of liquid. It gets caught in this like coagulation or whatever. So it looks really cool because it's like clear liquor, but it's like red and brown and shit from the liquor above it, and it looks really cool, and I just love all that shit. Like whenever like the Halloween episodes would come on during, fucking, you know whatever like live action sitcom or fucking animated whatever, and like the whole channel embraced it. Like it was just like this was the holiday fucking, like what ABC does with the fucking like 25 Days of Christmas or whatever. Like one of the only things I remember from cable.
There's a lot from cable that was pretty damn lit, to be honest.
I mean, cable was nice as a kid. I mean, like it just like it was great, because it just that full commercialism was just like heavily embraced. So like right after every episode or whatever.
Fucking lovely sounding
Boom.
car.
Yeah, you gotta love
just
it.
fucking lovely.
The city, man. Kind of. But
Yeah, it's to the ambiance.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Christmas for me is pretty sweet. This is different being in the desert because
fuck that dude.
you know, being in the desert, there's no snow or anything, and like getting a Christmas tree is kind of different. And you know, so what did you guys do? You know, as a for yourself that like really tied it all in. You know, if it wasn't
what was
like
your Christmas tradition?
Yeah.
Pretty much every single thing that has to do with Christmas.
This is what
Like
you do.
presents
Mm.
and a tree.
Did you get a real tree or a fake tree?
I've had both.
What do you prefer?
Prefer real.
Okay, good. That's all I want to make sure.
So did your parents ever try to make you go to like church or whatever?
What do you mean? You went to
Definitely.
Catholic school?
Yeah, I went to.
No, I know,
Christian
but like
school.
I just meant like was that like something you guys like? Was it? Did you guys have to go Christmas
Well,
Day
they
or like
didn't really
Christmas
know
Eve?
what it was because they weren't really religious, but they thought it was good to be brought up in that,
Yeah.
and they just didn't know what it was, so they put me in it.
Okay.
And
It's
I
interesting.
mean, it was kind of an interesting place to go to school,
Yeah, I remember the password stuff.
but I didn't like it, so I left.
It's fun.
Huh.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm kidding.
I mean, it sounds like an interesting, because I've never.
As far as like all the church stuff that was there, I totally
Mhm.
didn't participate in any of that because I thought that it was, I was just super stubborn that none of it mattered.
Mhm. Just
Nothing
really not
else
about it.
But these days, I mean, I guess I see what they were trying to do. It was kind of a cult in some ways.
I mean, yeah,
Kind
it
of.
is.
I mean,
Totally is.
it totally was. But
It's an organized group who believe in something, and when they're like,
it was
Like
mostly
all
just
very
teachers
organized.
giving their opinions and trying to freak people out.
did you have any teachers that were generally like
Teachers?
dicks? Or teachers?
Yeah, I said
Is that how
teachers.
it's,
No, he did.
No, I guess I did.
It was just funny.
Like, did you ever have any issues with teachers?
Oh yeah, I had a bunch.
Like anyone that was.
But I had a
politically-
couple like things that should have been issues that didn't turn out to be.
Really, or like shit you just got away with.
Because I think that they respected me on a certain level that I.
Did I like bust your ass over it?
And you were just like a fucking.
Well, they didn't want to continue
Done
the
that.
arguments.
Mm.
Because,
They just accepted their fate.
yeah.
They
they
were
needed
just
the
stuck
money,
with
I
it.
guess.
Well, easier to go with the flow than fight it in their case. You know, they got a bunch of other kids who could easily cause the same trouble. And then,
Oh, there was kids way worse than me. I wasn't, like, always getting in trouble like that. But I would just occasionally slip and do something crazy.
did you always have like I'm trying to think. Every school kind of has like the one wild kid. I'm trying to think of who it was for our school.
I mean, to be fair, we
It was a couple. Yeah, there was a couple
We
kids.
were like, we were in that playing field.
Yeah, we just in a different capacity.
No, we were in it. We were just like.
Well, I mean, like some kids like to cause trouble within the school, and then some kids who would cause trouble, but then somehow couldn't avoid like the involvement with the law, like inevitably like a cop showed up or something like
some
that.
people
or-
like us just managed to.
Yeah,
slip
like
through
just
that
sneak
kind
by it, and it really just depended on how much you were willing to like not give a shit essentially, like enough to like have the cops get involved, or enough where it would stop at like the principal or something like that, or the assistant principal, and I don't know. That's when it became like I should probably dodge that situation, But I don't know. At a certain point, like the school became less like I don't know. You just there was other shit going on, so it was hard to like you didn't want to get caught with the school because it meant that you'd get caught with the cops even. Because someone would be like, oh, what were you fucking doing?
Well, how was it going to school in Boston
or New Hampshire?
or
I went to
wherever you guys
I went to
were
school.
going?
I went to college in Boston for a little bit. We went to school in New Hampshire and high school and shit.
Yeah, and it was fine. Like the kids weren't like super bad or anything, but I knew a bunch of kids who were like, well, they were just stupid enough to do like illegal shit in the school. And I'm not saying like my friends. I mean, we did, but it was just different. I guess. I mean, which is stupid to say, but it was like kids got better like towards like the initial years of keeping shit under wraps because like most of the students had like really good relationships with like the teachers. So like there was a solid like grade or two that had really good relationships with the teachers. So when their siblings showed up, they were super chill about it. They're like, oh, you're so and so's younger brother or whatever. So like, it was or you're so and so's younger sister or like vice versa. So a lot of teachers were a little bit cooler and a little more understanding. It's like, okay, we know like you come from a good household, or like we know your brother or sister, so we understand. And that extended itself only so far, like when it came to like lenience, in terms of like situations. But other times, like the more it kind of progressed on, like, in like when I was a freshman and shit like that, if there was, if you had to go shoot something for photography, you could go all the way outside and not, like, if a teacher saw you walking inside, you could just flash the pass or whatever real quick, like, or the camera even, just be like, look,
Yeah, I was gonna say you just
I got a
flash the
camera, like, I'm gonna go shoot some photos for photography, and they'd be like, okay, see ya. Like, and they just let you walk out into the parking lot and, like, up into the like, baseball field and the softball field and fucking the football field and shit like that. So, like, a lot of kids, including myself, like, would join up with kids who are either in the photography class or kids who were already, in that class and just leave and, during a class or during a study, go to the softball field, smoke, and just come back. And that was like a routine that, like, I did a bunch of times. But kids started getting really sloppy, and like that's like when I was like a sophomore going into junior when they started like you couldn't even go outside anymore like that. If you did, you need to be like in a group or like
they weren't professional.
Yeah, it was really stupid. So like
Not
kids.
that it's professional.
No, but there was a certain what I mean. Like there's a certain way you go about stuff like that, so you kind of like don't ruin
Other
like
people's
the
ability to
privilege
do it.
breaking. Like you know how to break like the system, and there was a certain like
You bend the rules the right way.
yeah. So you don't fuck yourself and like kind of screw the whole system. You know what I mean? Like it sounds
like
weird, but
there's just like
So you're
a certain,
saying you weren't able to go outside when you were.
there's like a nuance to dicking
Well,
around.
Because
well,
and
I
not getting in
was
trouble.
I was allowed to go out pretty much whenever I want,
mm-hmm.
and then right after I left is when they started enforcing it more.
Yeah, well, like it was that's kind of how it was for us. Like it was kind of like my junior year into senior year is when they kind of like slammed it on like all the younger students, like the lower classmen or whatever, because it started to get really out of hand. And like I don't know, it was just like they would close down bathrooms and shit like that because there'd be like straight up like 25, 30 people like jammed in a fucking this whole area like like doing whatever the fuck, who knows, and then you had like kids like myself and other people who were just like semi doing illegal shit in the school, and they started to catch on to that, and then that became a problem. And because it was a small enough school, you couldn't just kind of like blend into the crowd. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't bit large enough where if there was an issue, you could just kind of like dip. Like they knew where you were gonna be, they knew who you were, they knew who you were gonna hang out with. So it was harder to like that, and that's what I mean. Like there was a very like specific system that allowed for you to be able to like fuck around, but not like get in trouble or like ruin it for everybody else. And the kids who came in the following years just either didn't respect that or didn't understand that system.
They weren't just good. They just weren't good at it.
Yeah, and they were just like it was like being a bad thief. You know what I mean? Like you just can't get away with like being stupid or like getting doing getting into trouble kind of. Like if you could like skip a class or something like that and like have a good excuse for why, or like just not get caught or something like that. Like they just couldn't help themselves. They'd be more than obvious, cause a scene in the fucking hall, just do some stupid shit. Like I remember like especially when like vaping like fucking salt nicks and stuff like that got super big. Like back when fucking
I remember when that happened. I remember the first time I saw a Jewel.
Dude, yeah, that was always the first one the first one that we had a couple was Jules. Like immediately, that was like the
No,
first
that
one.
was the Juno.
But yeah, the Juno was this other
'Cause
one.
I remember
it was like
someone doesn't matter because you don't know the last name, but someone my friend found two of them on the ground somehow and was like, "You want one?" I was like, "Sure." I just took it and just bought a new pod.
and they were essentially just like the first in our eyes, like competitor to Jewel. Slightly cheaper, same pod like system. Arguably like better charging system. It was a like USB, so
Micro
like that was
USB.
you didn't have to fucking like magnet charge it on this very specific bullshit, and like pods were also cheaper. So I don't know. It was like there were certain aspects that were better. I don't know. Like it was like the Jewel's obviously like more sleek and you can hide it better and shit like that. But
I also like that teardrop one.
oh the zero
Soarin' drop.
or
The Soarin', yeah.
the Soarin' drop. I don't know why I was thinking zero.
Yeah, the zero.
Well, same thing, but
That one was pretty good too.
yeah, those ones were
It's up there
good.
with Jewel.
Soarin' air in the Soarin'.
Yeah, so like I remember
had
like
an air as well.
Cole, you know what's really funny?
What?
So this super inconsequential, so I don't really care saying his name, but you remember Damien, right?
Yeah,
Like
we're not saying a last name. So
Yeah, he was
no,
the
you know what you're talking about.
he was the first one to show me to let me hit a jewel. I'd seen them before, but no one had offered it to me.
Yeah.
And he let me hit his, and it was a creme brulee pod. I didn't like that flavor at all, but like I just remember getting like a Nick Buzz, and I was like, that was really quick because I had smoked cigarettes before, so I had known how it feels. But I was like, that was just like boom, like right there, and like the creme brulee jewel pod. Do you remember that one? It had like the cream.
That was the worst.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was fucking terrible. But then I got put onto the mango and the mint ones. Like, well, I think it was he had creme brulee, and then somehow somewhere someone had like fruit melody or whatever. That one's also fucking ass. And then the mango and the mint were like the top. Like those were top tier. Like you didn't like anybody who had the mango jewel pod or anybody who had the mint jewel
Cucumber
pod.
as well.
Cucumber was also up
I
there.
didn't really like that.
The thing with cucumber for me was sometimes I felt like the pods were just like leaky. Like I feel like for whatever reason, whenever
You're
I got
leaky.
cucumber pods, they were just hella leaky.
It
Like-
was also limited edition, I think.
Mhm.
There was just a lot of factors that made cucumber jewel pod.
Problematic.
It made you the cool guy, pretty much.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was funny too because I remember like people had actually. Oh my god, I remember this. There was this whole incident where this person got really mad because someone they were trying to put everybody onto the cucumber jewel pod, and no and
fucking
yeah and someone else tried to do it too, and they're like, yo, I was already about
They
that.
literally made a fight
Yeah, it
out
was like a
about
fight
who
out
like
about
told
it.
people about it first.
Yeah,
It's
so
like, who the fuck cares?
it's just
it was
so
a
funny.
serious thing at the
Yeah,
time.
like two
Yeah, dude.
chicks made like Snapchats that were similar to each other about it, and it was
And-
like, this is a fucking joke, right? And it was not.
And pretty much it's just one of those things where and that was just like that was one of the things like kids started to, like that once that blew up, like the people started to like at first you could just literally sit in the bathroom no problem for like 15 minutes and just sit there and do your thing like out in the open, not even like sitting in a stall. I didn't even sit in a stall for the longest time because I was like I can just get away with it, and like plus the teachers really never came in here. But then like clockwork, there would always be a teacher somewhere around popping in there or doing something, so people would start going in stalls. And it just after that it was like you just waited for a stall. That's all you would do. And I don't know, that was fine, but I don't know. I remember I set off the fire alarm back when I had the big vapes though, in the school. That was funny, but I don't know. That was about it. Vaping. I knew a couple people who smoked in the school. Two of my friends got suspended because they smoked cigarettes in one of the like opening to like one of the doors that leave.
It's goofy.
Dude, I used to wax pen in the school.
Yep, dad pens hella. Oh yeah, people drank in the school. I drank in the school. My friend tripped in the school. My friend fucking. What else? I know people who came super fucked up off Xans. We ate hella edibles in the school. There's so many people who got so fucked up in that school. Like it was just like it was so bad because the teachers like the getting drunk was the hardest one because that was the easiest to tell that you were fucked up. Like
No
if you were
shit.
super sauced, it was very easy to tell you were drunk. And like
I don't even know why you want to do that at school.
it was funny, but like everything else though somehow people got away with. Adderall was obviously like the easiest one aside from smoking. Like you
Well, I had
just
ADHD.
fucking,
So
yeah,
like,
but like tons of people would just either sell their Adderall in the school or just fucking.
What is this fucking conversation?
I don't know. Well, I mean, it was more so. I'm just saying, like, it just became like that stuff was easier in the
Sound like a
beginning.
goon.
It was. Yeah, I am a goon, but at the beginning, like, things were easier. The Renaissance.
I would say Adderall's up there with drugs you should try at least once in your life.
I
Just
think
to
yeah. I
kind of
mean,
see your potential.
I think everybody should trip at some point. I mean, I'm not saying that's for everybody. Like, cause I mean, maybe your mental space, space is not like I'm not gonna call out mentally disabled people, but I'm not gonna say that you should probably do that. Mentally
At
impaired.
raves and
Yeah, it's just
fucking like at Life is Beautiful, people were doing Adderall because it's like a mini trip.
I could see why someone
it
would
is
enjoy
kinda
doing
trippy on a
Adderall.
certain level.
Well, cause it's like low-core Molly. You know what I mean?
It is. That's a good way to describe it.
Well, cause like you get really racy and stuff like that, but it's not like super like touchy and feely and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And, like the emotional aspect of it, it's more just like the uppity. I mean,
There's a lot
it's
of
an
euphoria
amphetamine.
that comes along with it as well.
Yeah, I could see why that'd be really fun. I think that if
I don't know. I feel like
Actually,
anybody would feel it if
Yeah.
they took a big dose right off the bat. Maybe not if you, because I don't know if you want to talk about it, Cole, but like as far as Adderall usage, I feel like when you use it over time at a small dose, maybe you wouldn't feel what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I never feel any of that just because I have ADHD. So
Right.
like,
You take it as prescribed, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but
it doesn't do anything for me like that.
You
'Cause
take
I
it
don't
on
have
occasion,
I don't have the
that's-
mind for it.
the mind.
You know what I mean? Just because I have that thing.
I just the couple times that I've taken Adderall, I mean, like, so I've done it for like schoolwork and I've done it for like work, and one time I did it because I was helping someone move in, and man, I got shit done so fast, and it wasn't even like, I mean, honestly, I didn't even just take it to help them move in, it just happened to work out that way, but yeah, it was just funny because like they didn't even have a drill, and there was so much stuff that needed to be like unscrewed and shit like in this room. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll just sit there and like I literally just like under the table was like I was just speeding through it, and like man, if I hadn't, I probably would have been up all night. But
yeah,
it was
you can get a month's worth
was
of
cool.
shit done in 8 hours.
Yeah.
On Adderall.
it was funny too because it was right when Flower Boy dropped, like the Tyler album that was before. I think it was before Eeyore. I just didn't know I didn't think there was one before him. I'm just being stupid. I should know that. But yeah. So it was cool because like once I was done, the album had just dropped, and I was like, oh, we should fucking listen to this. So it
Wait,
was
which
cool.
album?
Flower Boy,
By who?
Tyler the Creator.
Oh shit.
Because there was
Yeah, I
Cherry
haven't been
Bomb
keeping
before
up.
that.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I've liked all the albums he's put out. I mean, all of them have been different, but I'm not gonna fucking. It's completely old. I don't know. I'm gonna get if I talked about Tyler the Creator like that, I would get so much fucking hate. People would just be like, "You're just sucking his dick, man." Like, I don't know, man.
Who cares?
Yeah, just because I skated and listened to Odd Future, that's pretty much the demographic.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that Yonkers is his Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Yes,
Yeah.
entirely. There's like full out. Look, he's had
I
like
like that-
multiple
I
rap
like that way
songs where
he's
he's like
describing it,
dissed
too.
it. He like totally because he's like I can see what like that would be annoying. That'd be like if I drew one thing and everybody only liked that one thing, and then
I
everything
still
I
don't
made
think
would
they have
compare
a
it
right
to.
to be annoyed by it, though.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't.
I,
I
mean, I
would
guess
just.
they
funny.
do have a right, but
I think it's just funny.
It's an interesting take on it. Like I mean, like it's kind of like
people
let's just
enjoy
say,
it, you know.
but like you know that that'd be like if everybody defined your drawings by that bird or something like that. Like everything you drew, they'd be like, okay, where's the bird? You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
So I mean, that
But
may not be
people
even the case,
or
but
artists go through phases of what they're interested in,
yeah,
and you know they could have said to Dolly, you know, what's up with all those melting clocks?
yeah,
Like, and he's like, that's just what I'm working on right now, man.
or Picasso.
I like it o'clock.
And he's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, have you seen his self portraits over the years? It's really funny. I mean, not funny, but like,
You know, you're
no.
he was probably a narcissist because he got famous off of self portraits.
Yeah.
Who? Picasso?
I don't know. He Didn't he do Starry Night as well?
No, that was Van Gogh, right?
Oh,
Let's see.
no.
Starry
Yeah, that's
Night.
Van Gogh.
Right, is it Van Gogh's Starry Night? Who's the screaming face?
This is the Spacey podcast.
Yeah, this is the
Picasso
podcast where I look
is
like
a
an idiot
painter,
and can't see
sculptor,
paints.
printer,
Very
and ceramicist and theater designer.
Who? You talking about
Picasso.
Picasso?
Yeah.
Wait, so but what was the paintings he did?
Cubism, surrealism,
No, I know, but,
expressionism.
I think what was I was talking about the screaming face or whatever.
Those.
Because he was talking about Dali before.
Let's see.
I forget which fucking. I
Those are
forgot which
Picasso.
fucking.
Picasso
There you
would
go,
do
look at
like
those.
little,
No, I know Picasso.
There you go.
almost stick figures.
Look at that. Those are Picasso.
Slightly more complex stick figures. He also did a bunch of other good shit though
If you can't tell, it's also late.
that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, well, I mean it's they're
Not
chilling,
that
dude.
late, I'm just saying.
I like this most. It's just
Oh,
Picasso.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking thing.
Mm. I like physical art though. I wish I
Is
could
the
make some more
podcast not on
sculptures.
anymore?
No, it's fine. It's just I fucking turn on the
Yeah.
PS4 by accident, so now everyone's gonna have to hear the thing boot up.
It's okay.
But it's still recording, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. That's on the computer.
I'm gonna snag some juice. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you
I
wanna
might
pause
get
it?
water. So
No.
Pause it.
quick pause.
Quick intermission.
Fast return.
Yeah. All right.
We're back.
Back and better than ever.
Don't worry about that.
Fully got
What?
juice.
You know what? I gagged at the thought of it. I thought I might want to, but
It's you know what? It's okay. Sometimes it'd be like
never
that.
mind.
What are you doing there, bro?
There was I can't. There was a freaking video preloaded on my phone.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. But I gotta find the. There's gotta be something.
What?
I don't know. I just wish there was something going on here.
Fine, I'll fix it.
Alright, so now we're gonna turn on some fight videos. Some gruesome,
Some gruesome.
With the
totally
gulag.
unwarranted.
You gotta find the gulag. It's the best you can do.
Unjustifiable street fights.
Between Joe Biden and Trump. This is the first thing I saw below. Breaking news. Biden's wearing a mask.
I want to get into politics again
Politics.
at some point.
So like a political science major or like just
I'm
more
not a
involved
political
in
science major.
just more involved in politics.
You know,
There's not too many of them.
your guys' opinions and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Didn't you have something prepared, Kurt?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about like Halloween traditions, man.
Hey, didn't you do that?
I mean, I was talking.
Oh, we didn't talk Halloween yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me for Halloween was definitely fucking pumpkins. You most definitely have to do pumpkins. Pumpkins was most definite. And apple picking, for sure. I mean, it just kind of went hand in hand with fall season.
Yeah, being back in New Hampshire and stuff.
Oh, dude, the apple cider donuts, we didn't get to indulge in that because the fucking whack-ass orchards here in Las Vegas. Because, I mean, there's not much to expect when it comes to that, but regardless, I don't know, like,
It does sound good.
the
Apple
build up to
cider
Halloween
donuts.
and everything was just so great. And, like, I don't know, there was just so much more than what seems to be going on out here. I don't know, people just don't seem to be feeling it. I don't really get it. So, like, Keaton being the local here, like, was there ever a sense of, like, anybody being looking forward to this? Because I think there was
Looking
always
forward
something
to what?
Halloween. Like, was it even something that was, like,
Yeah, I look forward to
anticipated
it.
like Christmas, though?
It's definitely not as good as Christmas, but I look forward to it.
How dare you?
Well, I just
It's
mean,
probably 10% worse,
Halloween's my favorite.
which, I mean, it's still pretty amazing.
I just love all the spooky
Sounds
atmosphere.
good.
That shit just like, gets me.
The spooky what?
Atmosphere,
Oh, yeah.
like all the attention to detail and stuff like that some people put into like, house decorations. Like that was cool. Like going
Makes
around as
Carter
a
go
kid.
squee.
Yeah, pretty much. As a kid, like walking around and seeing like all the houses and stuff like that, and some people who went like all out.
Being able to go to Salem, Mass.
Yeah, like that shit's just fucking cool. And like I feel like people would appreciate it more if they lived in a place like New Hampshire, because it would be the environment is just so
It's
reflective of like,
conducive to it.
yeah, like what people see in like TV shows and shit, and like I don't know, like all the settings for like creepy like crypts and cemeteries and shit. Like you could probably find that shit.
You're a creepy
on the
creep
East
cemetery.
Coast.
What?
Ooh, ow. So I don't know. Like, was there ever a thing that like, you know, I know the
Halloween
school
tradition
had
thing?
like Halloween tradition and all.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, I went to a Christian school, so
Oh Lord.
I mean, it was actually pretty fun. They had a carnival that they set up, and it had a gravitron.
That
What
does
the
sound
fuck is
cool.
that?
You know, that one that makes you want to vomit, it sticks you to the wall.
I love that. I like spinny shit. It's my favorite.
So it was like
I
all
like
Halloween
it too,
themed?
but I've seen people throw up right in front of me.
I don't know, dude. I'm the one that like tries to scare everyone on those things.
And
Honestly.
that was like a Halloween thing.
I like to go upside down and shit. Yeah, it was only on Halloween night, and they had that. I mean, the gravitron was pretty much the most memorable thing, but
Yeah.
they had a couple other cool rides.
We didn't even mention fucking Screenfest, Carter.
Yeah, Screamfest was always something that was really cool too. It was we had this local what you would call it?
Candy
Like,
Lake Park.
yeah, it was an amusement park or whatever. But like they always did this thing for Halloween where it was called Screamfest, and it was like they changed all like some of the rides and most of the attractions into like these like haunted houses or whatever, and they changed the whole theme to like
Spooky.
yeah, spooky shit. And there was always every year it was kind of like a different main theme. So like I think one year it was kind of like a mainly haunted, like a mad scientist thing, or like a fucking crazy hillbilly type thing, or
I
Is-
remember
you know.
it was just good for bringing girls too.
it was just awesome. Like that was just like what you did with all your friends, because like I mean it was cool, and also you fucked around. Like it was just like you would just like mess around and make jokes the entire time, and it was just really
It's
fun.
always a euphoric night.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's always a good time going out and being a fucking dumbass kid
Mm-hmm.
just because you can, not because you should.
See if we can find some pictures.
I wonder how long those days are going to be around.
Who knows?
Right.
We took it for granted.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
We should have enjoyed it more.
Yep. Well,
Yeah. There's a lot more.
we
Like,
still got time.
that is something I definitely need to go back and do at some point when I go home. Like, is go to fucking Screamfest, because that shit is just like, I don't know, man.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, man. And they're not even they're not doing it this year,
Well,
obviously.
Why not?
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the idea of the people having to be so close in proximity, like just like close quarters type thing.
Yeah, it's just kind of like not doable.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be as
Do
fun.
you guys think it should be?
No.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna advocate for it really, because I think it's not. I would hate to see it be the cause of
can't-
something like that.
I can't
like an
trust
outbreak.
anyone to not be smart enough.
But do you think that time will ever come?
Yeah.
Well, when is that time? Because the disease is always going to be with us.
When we get a vaccine or something, who knows?
But so many people are going to not take that shit.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens.
I think it's one of those things where it's gonna have to be it's gonna end up being like the flu, like we're all just gonna get it, and we're all just gonna have to get vaccinated, and this will just be a yearly thing, and slowly we'll kind of become more resistant to it, to a point where it's like common cold. I think it's where we're at.
Herd immunity.
Yeah, I think there's no way we can get around this situation. Like, there's no, like...
Exactly. So I say open up the fucking Screamfest.
Well, I don't mean, like, in that capacity. I just meant, like, we're eventually going to have to get to a point where we're going to have to come to terms that this is, like, a not going away kind of problem. Like, we're going to have to find a way to just, like, I wouldn't say live with it, but, like, everybody's gonna have to. There's gonna have some kind of like mass, vaccination type shit.
Well, we're
And
always
then-
going to be changed by this shit, so
Yeah. So I don't know. It's
I mean-
interesting.
it's going to be different no matter what.
I just don't know what the future entails. You know. It's kind of it's open ended. I don't know. This could totally fuck us over, and we could easily just like screw
What do you
ourselves
think
into
is-
the dark age.
The most likely.
What's most likely, or what I hope for?
I guess both.
I like to think what is most likely, and what I hope for is like, you know, within the next like I'd say anywhere between 2 and 5 years, they develop a pretty solid cure or like vaccine. I wouldn't say cure, but like vaccine, that eventually will be like I said, like a flu shot that everybody will get, and it'll just be one of those things that we'll have to constantly be changing and tweaking and working out. So we're just like on clockwork with getting this thing vaccinated to a point where we can all comfortably reassociate ourselves with people and it not be a huge issue. Because I think the biggest thing will be like kids like us, like in college and parties, because even some of the smart kids who will hear that like things are starting to open up and people are starting to be able to mingle again,
I gotta talk about this again.
will end up like you know having a gathering of some sort, like a lot of people, or like something will happen. Who knows?
But you've heard all the conspiracies.
Which
I mean,
ones?
you don't have to believe them to know that many people being freaked out about the vaccines. It's about the vaccines.
Well, I mean, like to me,
There's going to be at least, and I'm underselling it when I say 30% of the population who is not going to take a vaccine.
oh, totally not.
Yeah, they'll have fun. We'll see what
Well, I
happens.
mean, like even I was a little concerned with the fact that they were rushing the vaccine
Well,
itself.
I'm gonna wait, obviously, but we'll see what happens.
That's what I mean. Like I don't want like I don't blame people for being slightly hesitant in a situation like this where they're just like trying to push it as fast as they can.
That's what I'm just saying. We'll see
Someone
what
like
happens.
Trump who's
See
like
how
just like
much
trying to
it-
get it out as fast as he can to just tell people like, it's fine or whatever. So I hope in a better scenario they can like effectively move this thing forward at a reasonable pace and still have I don't want them to like skip anything, like cut corners.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things that you can really do that with, especially like you don't know like long-term effects. Who knows, like 25 years down the line there's like lawsuits for first wave COVID patients or whatever who got vaccines.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I mean, there was already some disease that broke out. I forget. It was a major
It's Johnson and
study.
Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson and Johnson.
It wasn't. They weren't doing they weren't that far along, but it was gonna be the biggest amount of people, like 60,000.
Oh, because the talk or whatever.
No. This just happened with the vaccine they were testing.
And this may
Oh,
be
Like
the
some
initial-
unknown disease just popped up or something.
Johnson & Johnson's making a vaccine.
Yeah.
This may be the
Are they
initial
allowed to do
trial.
Yeah,
but
they're not just
It's
being
fucking-
shit, Carter.
No, I know. I just didn't know if they have the facilities to
it's
like.
good propaganda.
Carter, how would they?
So wait,
make
so
it?
what happened? I guess I don't even know what's going on.
I
with
don't
that.
know the whole story. I just heard that they were running a trial and some unknown or unidentified disease popped up in a subject.
A bacterial thing or viral?
I don't know. That's all I know.
It sounds like it could potentially be a bacterial thing because like what?
How would you know off of it just being unidentified?
Well, I mean, like
It's
I'm just
literally
saying, like,
unidentified.
well, I'm just saying, like, if there was like some kind of issue with like vaccine, it was like
It's
bacterial
unidentified,
infection
though.
or something. I don't know.
I'll look
I
it
just
up.
my mind didn't go straight to viral. I don't know why.
My mind went straight to I don't know.
Well, it has to be one of the two, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Jeez, man, I don't know.
So exactly, I don't know. I ain't saying shit. I
why
don't know.
why couldn't they just stick to baby shit?
That not only did
Make the baby shampoo.
No more tears.
No more tears. I don't want my baby to cry.
no,
But now my baby's crying from this fucking unknown Johnson & Johnson disease.
People think it says no more tears, but it says no more tears.
No
That's
more
why
fucking.
it still hurts your eyes.
It says no more squares.
It still
'cause they don't like
burns.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. Is it just one of those things where it's like less sensitive fucking shampoo?
I don't know.
What?
I don't even know if it is less sensitive.
What are you talking about?
Probably
Like
just a
Johnson
marketing
& Johnson's baby
thing.
shampoo. Like what makes it no
Look it up.
tears?
I don't know.
Because it's soap, right? It gets
Just
in your eyes,
Google it. I
and
don't fucking pay attention to baby soap,
the
damn it.
complexity of baby soap.
Yeah, I don't look at the intricacies of baby hair things.
Johnson & Johnson.
I just
Well,
consume
wasn't that so? Then, but wasn't that
dog
whole
products.
thing? Wasn't there a whole thing with the Johnson & Johnson like talc though?
Yeah,
What was that?
something about the talc giving people testicular cancer.
Yeah, isn't that something? They just fucking shit up left and right, huh?
It had nothing to do with this though.
Would you guys ever get paid to do one of those studies
It depends on what it is.
if they paid you well? Yeah, but you can't even sue if they fuck you over.
Yeah.
Is that a reliable news source?
You're a fucking idiot.
I've never heard of that before.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna trust
And
it.
I wouldn't just trust it off the bat.
NPR.org though.
It's fairly reliable.
Yeah. Johnson & Johnson, Eli Lilly pause COVID-19 drug trials.
Yeah, I guess the illness really is unidentified or unexplained as well, because it doesn't say anything about it.
Yeah, it just says Johnson & Johnson paused all clinical trials of its experiment COVID-19 vaccine after a study participant became sick with an quote-unquote unexplained illness.
That's patient zero right now. You know they make them.
They just made a fucking
they're
zombie
making
or
them
something.
Lock up all day.
They just made a goddamn zombie.
They're just looking. Yeah, I was thinking that too. They're just looking at them through a little pane of glass,
Epic gamer moment.
studying them.
Gamers rise. We got zombies from Johnson & Johnson, boys. Alright, what are you doing?
Reading this thing.
Why are you just sitting there reading?
Well, I mean, I was just really interested about what that was.
Well,
I'd prefer
if
not
you
to,
don't-
yeah, I would prefer not to stop everything up, and that was really interesting. I didn't know what you guys are talking about at first, so look at me not being informed, but I'm learning.
Good for you.
I know, right? And I hope you guys learned something too.
Probably not though.
I don't know. Oh, look, there's a bug on the gulag, on the pumpkin. I didn't notice what that was at first. I thought there was an actual bug on the TV.
gulag?
What about the bug on Mike Pence?
Look at you see the bug?
The gorge.
Yeah, see the gourd.
The gourd.
Oh, it's an earwig, you little
Your
fucker.
earwig.
That's the worst bug that could have shown up. What the fuck?
I can't tell if that is an earwig.
It is. I saw the little fucking things on its tail. You see those little two? Oh, you fuck.
Do you ever get those in your room?
Yeah, that's totally an earwig.
Dude,
Fuck those
those
things.
are the worst.
They're my favorite.
Little
Ugh.
intruders.
Those things used to show up in my.
Oh,
house
is that
on the
what
East
Ding
Coast.
Dong and Julian were calling house cockroaches?
I think so. Maybe I don't know. They're
Or a house
terrible.
Cockroaches already come in the
No,
house.
house centipedes.
It's a whole
Remember?
There's house centipedes that are like legit centipedes.
Oh,
They're just
what?
smaller. Yeah.
I thought they were talking about those
Can
ones.
No, I
earwigs
don't know.
fly?
No, I don't think so.
If there's like a queen earwig that can fly, that's pretty
I'd rather not
terrifying.
think about that.
Yeah, this earwig is trying to get
With its
inside this
little
pumpkin.
pinchers.
This is the most unsettling Halloween thing I've seen so
Imagine
far.
I just slapped the TV and it's a big ass fucking earwig.
No, what's more unsettling than this fucking earwig just trying to like intrude upon this fucking pumpkin, dude?
We should put this.
It's terrifying.
We should put this still thing or this what we're looking at here in the description, so that
Yeah, you guys
people know
can
what
we
we're
can
talking
we can
about.
shout them
Yeah,
out.
I'll put links into the description
for,
we
yeah.
talked about.
You guys can enjoy the ambiance of this beautiful gourd.
You guys can enjoy the dulcet sounds of me slapping
We
cards.
recommend that you look at this while watching or while listening.
Yeah, fully embrace yourself.
And look up a gulag, which is a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's
It's a
pretty
jack o'
sweet.
lantern.
It's just a little ambiance to like really immerse yourself in the Halloween spirit.
Your little
Because, I mean,
ambiance.
I'm kind of bothered that this pumpkin doesn't have a nose though.
You know what?
It
It's a
is strange.
style
Oh, there he
choice,
is, he's back.
and I kind of like it.
I can't tell if it's the style.
The earwig
or
has
if it's
returned to the
lazy.
upper right corner of the frame.
I think it adds to it because it gives the mouth more like size. I feel like if they made a nose, it would kind of look goofy, but he looks more menacing with
It
that
already
one.
looks goofy.
But like he looks like goofy in like a menacing way though. Like he's got like sharp teeth, so it's like oh he's funny,
Oh, that
but like
goofy.
he's got a big old smile, but he can still eat you.
But a nose isn't going to add to the goofiness.
A nose.
If it was
Is a
would you add a
nose.
triangle nose?
You know what I would do? I would add like an arrow nose,
Okay,
and that would be pretty tight.
okay, I could see that.
You know
Would you
what?
have it curved at all, or would it just be?
No,
just
it would
an
be, the same
Harder
type
likes when
as
it's
the
curved.
eyes, maybe a bit smaller.
arrow. Okay.
Except it's an arrow; it's not a full triangle. So So
Okay, I can see that.
that's what I would do too.
You guys don't understand what's going on, but like we said, links in the description. And then you know what? Fun little game. You can visualize your own nose and try and figure out what you would do on this pumpkin. Finish
game.
the pumpkin. it's our treat to you.
Fun little game. Think about this invisible thing.
Is there comments?
Leave
Sorry, like
comments in below what you think that we would do, and then comment what you would do.
Is there comments on this?
Yeah, it's on a bunch of stuff now.
Leave your
There's a YouTube channel now, remember?
yeah.
And we got there's a subreddit and a Discord.
Yep.
So we got a whole bunch of things now.
Good stuff, man.
Just got a major upgrade.
Yeah, I made a bunch of things.
We're moving up in this world.
It's a bunch of dust.
And you can tell this is just like someone putting a camera to this because it's trying to focus on some of the stuff in the background, which I appreciate because someone really went out of their way to do this. Or what it
It
seems
doesn't
like.
seem like they put that much effort in. They just set a camera down.
Well, I mean, like,
I
they
was
let it go
thinking
for a couple hours.
Dude, you know what'd be cool?
What's up?
Halloween episode that's also our anniversary. We recorded our
Oh,
own
yeah,
version of
yeah.
this.
And we, yeah. And
You guys started this on Halloween?
The first episode
oh, look,
was
the
uploaded on
earwig
Halloween,
is
yeah.
back. He showed back up. He's coming into frame.
The first episode was uploaded on Halloween.
And
Yeah,
we
you guys definitely
watched this horrible movie called Murder House, I believe.
But that was Death House.
Death House, Murder House.
It's
One of the
Death
two.
House.
Something stupid.
It's Death House.
Said hey.
I edit the videos. It's Death
It's
House.
just it's fucking earwig, dude.
Look at that dust.
Ew,
I just pulled a fat wad of dust out of my fucking fan.
that's gross.
Yeah, it's really tasty looking.
Earwigs do go with pumpkins.
You think so?
There's some
They're
bugs that
stinky.
wouldn't. Like, I don't know if a fly would.
That'd be gross.
A fly
I feel like
would
they'd be
gross.
more
Yeah,
gross
it's like
somehow.
a rotting pumpkin.
Yeah,
No one
dude,
wants
it'd be
that.
nasty.
It's like nobody wants to watch a fly on a television.
I feel
But
like
the
I wouldn't
earwig
want to
is a
see.
nice touch.
I don't know. He's kind of gross.
I want to see earwig, but it's like somehow more acceptable than like watching a fly.
I don't know. He's kind of gross.
Like a horse.
You guys are
a
more
horse
accepting
fly,
of this
maybe.
gross bug.
No, I don't like him at all. I would just rather not see a fly.
Well, I mean, yeah, it'd be more annoying because it'd be like really in your face and shit, and like you can't just like smack them. Not
Tarantula
easily.
would be too obvious.
Tarantula, yeah. But then
Because
you
this
could do
seems like it's just happening.
you could do fucking
Probably did just
like
happen.
a mouse or something, or like a rat. What about a rat?
Maybe you could scurry by once. You don't want to make a big deal about
Yeah.
it though.
But what if you like burrowed into the pumpkin and then
What
just
if the
kind of like
rat started
chilled
fucking?
right inside of his eye?
It'd be better if he just all of a sudden came out of the pumpkin. Like he's
Yeah,
been
that'd
in
be
there the
cool.
whole time.
Like a stripper out of a big cake.
Yeah, but he's a little rat. He crawls out and does rat stuff, like eat a piece of cheese or like sit there
crawls out and does rat
breathes.
stuff.
There is a way for people to see this, right?
What?
We can put it in the
Oh
description.
yeah, I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause this is they have to know.
And I'll post it. I can make a thread of it. There's a Reddit now. If you have Reddit, I'll make you an admin. Get a subreddit.
I'll make a Reddit.
Make you an admin and you can post stuff on
I
it.
go on Reddit all the time now.
So there you go.
We definitely got to get some pumpkins, and well, maybe that'd be like an interesting part of the anniversary podcast. Is like we carve some pumpkins. Like we have a video of our pumpkin, you know, just like our own gulag, but like in the video we carve some pumpkins.
What is that Italian?
What?
Gulag. Is that
No,
that
ghoul. It's like Yule log, like the fucking log burning at Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's ghoul log.
Like a ghoul. Like it's ghoul.
You like spook.
what are you guys calling that exactly? The pumpkin?
No, it's just like that. Just
Okay,
like
you
the
know, like a
idea.
Yule log. You ever heard like Christmas, like the Yule log burning thing?
No man.
Well, that's a Christmas thing, and then the joke here is that it's
What is
the
it,
ghoul
though?
log.
It's just like imagine just like a fire going on in the background.
It's like a bonfire of a certain type. Of,
It's just a
Imagine
Christmas bonfire.
like a
It's
fire
fucking
inside of a
Christmas bonfire.
fireplace, very like low and kind of like just warm.
Alright, look up Yule log.
so is
Yeah,
it
I'll
more
show you.
like a mini bonfire,
Just show them, Dan.
or maybe a full-fledged bonfire?
I'll show you.
There ain't no bonfire in the house.
Oh, it's in the house.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. This is a Yule log. Sometimes it can be food.
Is that so?
Cause it's
Wait,
festive.
what? You decorate it and shit, and then you burn it.
No, you don't burn this one.
Oh,
The Yule log or Christmas block is especially
Christmas
selected-
block, it
is a
says.
specifically selected log burnt on a hearth on Christmas tradition and religions of Europe, particularly the United Kingdom and subsequently the Americas. The origin of the folk custom is unclear. So yeah, it's just a festive log you burn, but also it can be something that you make into like a weird
Wait, so what
Like
they call it
rolled
a
dessert.
wait, so what they call it a block?
a Christmas block.
That's fucking
The
great.
Yule log, Yule clog, or Christmas
I am
block.
never calling it a Yule log again. It is now the Christmas block.
Yeah. So essentially, like, yeah, if you look up Yule log fire, it's just like it's just
Christmas
like a fire
Minecraft.
going in a fireplace, just like an aesthetic thing. So this is the Halloween version, so it's referred to by us and by I think the
YouTube.
internet is the ghoul log, because ghouls, like scary ghouls, and then
Like Gary
and then
Jewel.
instead of being a ghoul log, it's a pumpkin. Or just maybe sometimes I've seen an actual fire, like a Christmas, like
So
inside
you're
the
burning
thing.
a pumpkin.
Kind of. Well, there's a candle inside of it. Oh, the spandrel's done. The spandrel's actually full, and actually I could use it as a
All
real
this
candle.
is just.
You want to explain to people what that monster
The
is?
spandrel, it was
Because
this
people are
can-
gonna hate you.
There's this spam container that one of our roommates had shown to us that I thought was a good idea. That he had been filling with the fat instead of like pouring it into the trash or like pouring, down a sink, which is not a good idea. And I
Don't pour
thought
your
to
fat
myself
down the sink,
when I was
yes.
carving one of the pumpkins, because I had some hemp wick, hey, if I stick that in the fat, I could probably burn it because I didn't have any candles.
Which is
So I stuck a big thing of hemp wick in it and have been slowly filling it with the fat from food I've been using or cooking or whatever, and now it is fully done, and it is all the way to the brim or so, and I could use it as a real candle. And it honestly doesn't even smell like anything. I know you'd think it smelled like bacon or whatever the fuck I was using, but it really doesn't smell that much. So it's interesting too because it's a whole bunch of different oils and fats. So make your own candles, boys and girls. Duck fat, don't care. Chicken fat, doesn't matter to me. Stick a wick in that bitch, light it on fire.
Even fat. Oh wait, don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that. Whale fat, do that.
People do that.
Dolphins, maybe.
Don't.
Huh?
Don't do either of those.
Snake
now.
fat,
No.
rat fat.
No.
Yeah, just go to New York.
You know what the rats fuck.
just it's. I mean, make a candle. It's fun. Go to Yankee Candle. I mean, don't do it now. It's probably not a good idea, but
Or do.
yeah, I don't know.
If you're
Whatever
that
you
kind
want.
of person, go do it. We'll get rid of you.
I've always wanted to do that. The Yankee Candle thing.
Remember when they
that
like
whole-
sold them at the school when you're younger, and everyone was like, "That's expensive."
What candles?
Yeah.
I remember the book fair.
Like,
Did
they
you guys
they
ever
try to
have
get
book
people to
fairs?
sell them. I'm sure you
Was
get a
that
book
was
fair.
that a thing? At
Oh
your
yeah,
school?
book fair was a beautiful day, beautiful couple of
The
days.
Scholastic Book Fair, yeah.
It was always very awesome.
Dude, we had the two things. Like the beginners to the Scholastic Book Fair was like that catalog they would hand out at a certain point in the year, and there was kids who would like. Yeah, they would specifically buy certain stuff that would like come in the mail at the school, and then
I
they
did
would
that
get
like
it.
twice.
Yeah, like that shit was so fucking cool.
That was how they built up the hype.
Yeah,
they,
'cause
they
it-
handed out the
The
pamphlets.
catalog,
and, like,
exactly.
As a
That
kid,
time of
bro,
year.
like anybody who bought that stuff and it actually came to the school,
man?
yeah, they'd be like, oh, like Bailey, you're like, Jan, I don't know why I couldn't think of a girl's name. I don't know, fucking, Lily. Like, we have we got your Scholastic Book Fair thing, and they'd be like, wow, really? And it'd be like a book or something like that, but it'd be like the one time where a kid would order like a PC game or some kind of crazy fucking nonsense thing, and man, was that cool. And then yeah, it totally built up the hype for like when you'd go to the actual like book fair, and you see all that cool shit and like all the books. I mean, the books were kind of cool because they all had like cool covers, but there was always the cool shit. Like there's the big pointer fingers and shit, or like those big long like ridiculous pencils, and all just the like fucking little knickknacks and shit. All the erasers. I don't know, man. Like the little kid, that's a little kid's dream right there. Because he feels like he's in a store, but it's not a store, so there's no other pressure that you put on a kid. So I don't know. He's just I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It's like being in a Barnes and Noble.
What does that even mean?
Like,
It's like being in a Barnes and Noble, but you're with all your friends.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's none of the weird slight, I wouldn't say like social pressure, but as a kid, like you don't want to put them on the spot. You know, it'd be like if they stuck them in a Barnes and Noble, we're like, yo, find whatever you want. They'd be
And I
like,
think it's because it was limited. You knew that
Yeah.
it was a limited thing, and you can go to a Barnes and Noble any day.
How cool was it when your parents slapped like a 20 in your hand or something like that and was like, go crazy at the book fair, and you're like, wow, really?
And you
You
get
get,
some
like, one-
erasers that you can stick on your pen. You don't want to put it all in one thing. You want to indulge in everything.
Yeah, that was the thing though. Like my dad always
Awesome
like,
stuff.
if he gave me a 20 from the book fair, he was expecting to see a book. Like he wanted to, you know, he wanted to make sure I didn't just waste that 20 on a bunch of nonsense, which I most definitely did. But it definitely, there was that like allocating of resources. Like you're like, okay, well the book is like, you know, $13 or whatever, and like all these other things are this, and I don't know if it was just because it was the book fair or because it's also New Hampshire, but there was no sales tax, so I didn't have to worry about, you know, it was just flat. Whatever it was what it was. This shit was great though. Do they even do that anymore? I wonder if they even do that.
Who knows?
Man, I'd be so sad if that's not something that kids like are. You know, obviously like they're not in school like in that capacity where I feel like they could have a book fair, but like
I wouldn't be surprised if they took it away.
yeah, they'd be fucking sad.
I'm sure
man.
they did.
Well, because books just aren't that big
Because now
anymore.
it's the Scholastic Jewel Fair.
Or like the Scholastic fucking ebook fair. Yeah, audiobook fair.
Scholastic audiobook fair.
That would be so sad. I'd be like, no.
Yo, can I cop a pillow?
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
everything's a digital fucking thing. It's like here's a download for an app, or
Dude,
here's
that'd be fucking.
here's 50% off a McFlurry.
Here's a bunch of QR codes. Enjoy your samples, you little creams. I don't know.
Check
man.
out the Scholastic podcast.
That was like, did you guys have a snack line in middle school or whatever? Like after like the main lunch was served, there was like a secondary, like you could spend your additional like lunch money or whatever to get like chips or like a fucking drink or whatever.
Well, you could get it all throughout, so it was, you know, it was,
Probably had a better system.
better.
for it,
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
they allowed the snacks to be sold at the same time as, you know, everything else.
We had, it was like after like, so they would have like all the kids come through and like the main lunch would kind of be served, and it was more like that like years in high school for us, where like there was like you didn't even really have to like get lunch, you could just pop over to the snack line and get what you wanted. But I just like the hype for like after lunch, like who could get to the snack line fastest to get in that line was like, if you were over there fastest, you got the best snacks, you got whatever was freshest, especially if they had like good food. Because sometimes they had like
Good
fucking
drink.
pretzels or whatever, or like some kind of other shit. But yeah, man, I don't know, like that was awesome. Because you saw them roll out, like the fucking, for us it was like this weird, like quarter of the lunchroom, there was like this big old window, and there was like one of those fucking, you know those like sliding security doors
Oh,
or
that
whatever they
fucking
have
thing.
at fucking like malls or whatever, for like the doors. So they would just roll that shit up and they'd be like, alright, everybody come over for the snack line. You just run over there. And there was these things called fucking switches. And,
Not the weapon.
no, yeah, not the weapon, a fucking drink. And, man, those were so good. You just pop over, get yourself a switch and a bag of chips or something like that. And, like, I always got this thing called, like, devil's food or whatever.
Shit.
I don't know what the fuck it was. It was just like this chocolate. It was like this marshmallow with, like, chocolate around it, but.
You're a marshmallow.
Man, that's why I was a little fat kid. I was
Excuse me, sir.
a little thickums because I enjoyed myself some snacks.
I enjoy it. Oh damn, we're like over an hour in. We can probably stop here. We're like over an hour in.
All right, well, it's been fun.
We should make 2 in a row.
two in a row.
Not that one.
We'll see.
Let's fucking
we'll see what
figure it
happens.
out.
All right. See you guys next time.
See you guys